everyone, I'm Katie Quinn. I'm a video creator, cookbook author, and today I'm in Edinburgh, Scotland. After about a decade in New York City, I moved to London just last year and have so been enjoying exploring my new home of Great Britain, and today I'm taking you all along for the ride. Yesterday I took the train up from London, and arriving in Scotland, it's like, do you expect kilts and haggis? Well, you might get those things, but you'll also get a whole lot more. Scotland has so much to offer, and today we're going to meet someone who really embodies that. Maya.
Hi! Oh, lovely to meet you.
It's so nice to finally meet you.
Welcome to Scotland.
Thank you. Should we hop in my temporary Scottish kitchen?
Let's do that.
Okay. Sumaya, you are a culinary teacher and a cookbook author. Tell me more about what you do.
Well, I started writing about 7 years ago now, and and that's what I do. I still write loads. I do loads of freelance writing. I've written 2 cookery books, and I teach cookery, and I'm about to set up a cookery school.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you get into it?
Well, I was a very boring lawyer for many, many years, but I always had this real passion for food, especially food from my homeland, Pakistan. And I said the best way to people to understand Pakistan is through its food, and that's why I started writing.
I have heard you say that you have a Pakistani heart and a Scottish soul.
I will always be Pakistani no matter what. I will never lose that identity, and I really define everything that I do from being Pakistani. But there is something about Scotland that makes me feel like I was here in a past life. And I know it's really sort of woo kind of feeling, but it is really interesting, and I'll never forget that when I first went to the Highlands, and I was in a certain area in the Highlands, and I kind of had this real feeling that I'd been here before, and I've never had that feeling before, and I really felt like, you know what, I think that my soul is sort of like wandering somewhere in the Highlands, and I'm coming back to it. So I basically found that, you know, I can't reproduce everything that I used to cook back home in Pakistan, and when I moved here and I saw this incredible produce, I thought of recipes that I could combine, you know, Pakistani and Scottish flavors. And I have this recipe that when I first tried it, I said, oh my God, I've totally got it. It works like a real unison between Scotland and Pakistan. So I've got the stuff with me. Do you want me to make you some?
Yes, please.
So today I want to make you some Pakistani spiced up tatty scones. So I love making these because they are part Pakistani and part Scottish, because in Pakistan we have a flatbread called paratha, which is an enriched bread with ghee and sometimes made of potatoes and flour. And in Scotland you have tatty scones, which is again leftover potatoes with flour. So I combined the two, and the techniques are quite similar. And I've created this dish, which is using butternut squash and potato. So usually I always have leftover mashed potatoes, so I always use that, or leftover roast butternut squash. Mash them all together. Add lots of fresh herbs, whatever you have, so anything from cilantro, mint, dill, and spring onions, which give it a real freshness. The spices I use in this is dry roasted cumin and some salt. That's all I use. And I just bind that all together into a dough. And then I heat up a pan and I use ghee, which is clarified butter. But if you don't have ghee, you can always use unsalted butter instead, mixed with a bit of oil so it doesn't brown. And once it's hot, make round patties and press them down into flat breads and pop them onto a really hot pan with your ghee butter, and cook on a medium heat until brown on either side. And they're great with a cup of tea, as you would in Britain, or a cup of coffee if you're in America.
Cheers!
Comforting.
Oh,
Hello.
Jemaya, that is stinking delicious.
Oh, I'm so glad you like that.
Yes, so I'm not even just saying it for the camera. That is so, so good. Now that we're all filled up though, should we go walk around Edinburgh?
I think so. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah. So what's like your favorite thing about Edinburgh?
So my most favorite thing about Edinburgh is all the history. I mean, every street's got history on it. You know, storybooks come to life, you walk down the street, there are loads of people, and it's just something so quaint and beautiful about it all.
And it feels old,
Yeah.
but in a really good way.
Exactly, that's it.
What do you think would surprise a lot of people about Scotland?
I think one of the main things that surprises people about Scotland is the weather. And when things get murky, they are quite sort of downing. But when the sun shines, there's no place better than Scotland. And I think everything shines literally. The trees are greener, everything is better. And I think the other thing that really surprises people about Scotland is that the food is not all about just deep fried food as people imagine it to be. The produce is incredible. I mean, if you haven't tried Scottish langoustines, you need to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
So I think that there's something quite magical about tartan. It says Scotland, it's all over it. I mean, if you don't leave Scotland without any kind of a scarf or something with some tartan on it, then you've not been to Scotland.
Here in Edinburgh, what's like a can't miss thing for visitors?
A can't miss thing for people coming to Edinburgh. It is right behind us, Edinburgh Castle. Yep, it's imposing, it's beautiful, it's ancient, and it's stunning. The most beautiful thing about Edinburgh is that you can pretty much see the whole of Scotland in one small city. I mean, it's not small, but what I mean is there's loads of old stuff, there's lots of new stuff, and that amazing castle up on a hill.
Sumaya, this city is incredible.
I know, this is why I love Scotland, now you know.
I totally get it. And actually, I love your Scotland specifically. Those tatty
Thank
scones
you.
were on point.
Aw, thank you.